Merry Christmas, guys. We're gonna talk dubbings today. In this video, I'm gonna break down why I have 4 different kinds of dubbings in my hand. I'm gonna show you how to tie them into the swing flies to accomplish exactly the look and the profile I am trying to achieve with using all these different brands and colors. Hope you guys enjoy the video and let's get it right into it. All right, guys. So to start this off, we are gonna talk about ice dubs. So ice dubs are basically your hot spots, your attractors. They are drawing the fish in if the fish aren't really interested in the fly. Each time I pick up a fly and I fish it, there's a reason I'm fishing it in what watercolor I have. When you're trying to pick dubbings to finish off your swing fly or put a little bit of a hot spot collar before the actual head of your swing fly, you want to think about colors. I keep it really simple and I don't stray far from what's in my hand right now. First one's going to be your chartreuse. Dirty water, need an attractor, need something they can see, chartreuse is gonna be on. The next one is your fluorescent hot pink, all around great kind of winter color, really shines in that gin clear dark day waters, does really well. Next you get into your purple ice dub. Nothing wrong with it, catches fish, does really, really well. Now a little sneaky one that not a lot of people throw, this is the shrimp pink. Shrimp pink does really, really well when orange just seems to be getting really crappy bites. If I know the water's too clear for chartreuse and I'm getting grabs on orange but no full like pulls and runs, shrimp pink is coming on. Last but not least, just your standard American orange ice dub. This thing is basically the freight train. It is driving the bus for every swing fly I have. I've caught more fish with orange ice dub head swing flies than any other ice dub out there. Don't know what it is, maybe it's confidence, maybe it's not, but orange ice dub is #1 in my opinion. There's mainly 3 ways that you're going to use ice dub and tie ice dub in. The first way is going to be taking your ice dub, putting it in top and bottom, kind of like you're pushing a stack of wool on, making your 2 wraps and folding it over, and then making a little bit of a cone in the front to push out a block head of ice dub. The second way is a collar, or just kind of an accent hot spot before you finish the fly off. And that can be done either with dubbing, just dubbing it onto your string, or it can be done by just placing it on there, tying it down, and just pushing it and brushing it to make a light collar around the fly. The third way is gonna be to set some on top, 2 wraps, set some on the bottom, 2 wraps, fold it over, wrap in front. Really good for 2-tone coloring your heads if you want to do that. But my #1 way is I'm making that sculpin head, that block head by. All right, so next dubbing a choice that is brand new on the market, but basically has just taken the world by storm, is the Senyo's Dirty Bird dub. This dubbing is the buggiest, most lively looking dubbing I think has been created so far in fly tying. This dubbing is super vibrant in the water. It's going to move, it's going to shimmer, it has life to it, which I really, really like. The great thing is too, is it comes in an array of colors. These are only just some of the colors. Like I have basically every color, and I haven't got my favorites yet because it just kind of came out, but these are kind of my top contenders right now that have been getting me bites. And there's mainly 3 ways, just like the ice dub, that you can tie these in, but it's gonna be a little bit different. So the first one you can start off is you can do a dubbing loop and set all this in a dubbing loop and get a really nice collar and get a marabou kind of palmer look with this dubbing, which I really find adds a awesome natural look to your fly. Get your dubbing loop open. Place your material in the dubbing loop, and this is not gonna be pretty. I don't even have a dubbing spinner with me. Take it, and then you can spin it. Just like that. You can pluck it out, and then you can wrap it like a brush all the way through your fly. Just like that, and you can tie it in. There you go. Do not take that for my actual dubbing loops. That was a hand spun one. I do not have a dubbing spinner with me. So the next is you can just take it, set it on top, tie it in, throw it back over, and it's gonna perform just fine. If you stack it well and take your time setting it into place, it will work every time. And last but not least, just shove it on the shank, 3 wraps, fold it over, it's gonna have life. This material is basically universal to anything you want to accomplish, and it is becoming my fan favorite right now. The biggest colors that I've been like using in my boat and starting to get some bites on more consistently than others, it's called Halloween. Yep, there it is. So Halloween. And then there is a hot orange one that I don't have. I forgot to grab it. It is sitting at home, or wait, not there. So the hot orange is another one. And then last but not least, it's this orange one right here, the craw orange. Craw orange also works really, really well. A nice belly look. If you're tying basically a collar underneath a swing fly, this hot orange is nice. I really like it. And they do have a nice tan, like this molted, the molted gray brown. You could dub this on a body of a shank, run some schloppen through it or run some saddle through it and get a very cool buggy profile. So if you haven't played with it, this is something you need to add to your fly tying box and your fly tying desk is the MFC Dirty Dub. All right, last but not least, we're gonna talk about something weird. This is the Wapsi Life Cycle Dubbing, nymph dubbing. And you're gonna be like, well, it says it's for nymphs. Well, it's not, because this is the closest thing I can find to Aussie possum. And if you're like, what is Aussie possum? Well, then you need to take a step back and you need to go look up patterns like the Aquatic Nuisance from Kevin Feenstra or the Emulator by Kevin Feenstra. Those two patterns really taught me when I was learning the spay game what it meant to push water and give those fish something that's gonna trigger their lateral line. I'm a big believer in that those guys that plug get more bites because of the movement. This is close. Aussie possum is one of the hardest materials to find. You can only get it from Australia, and the fake stuff is so. This right here, wait till I tie it in and show you the rigidity and the stiffness. But the nice thing is this has a little bit more absorbent to it, so that the Aussie possum, you can never get your fly to go down. You had to weight it or you had to fish those flies really shallow, because the Aussie would never get wet. It was super hydrophobic. This gets wet, still pushes water, but it gets down into depths that you couldn't really get to with the Aussie possum unless you were fishing a heavier sink tip, dumbbell eyes, and things like that to get that fly down. All right, so now we're gonna talk about that life cycle dubbing. So I have it here and I tease some out, right? Looks like that. Looks pretty good. But first I'm gonna start with a smaller chunk, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take smaller chunk, and then I'm going to literally split it in half, top and bottom it, encapsulate it, get a bunch of wraps, push it all, and then wrap right behind. So that's gonna be my base that's gonna hold it up, right? And then for the final one, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna push this big old blockhead on it. 3 wraps, move this around, bingo. Bunch of wraps up front, and there you go. You can see that shape and profile take place right there. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, a little deep dive into dubbings. If you're really enjoying these more deeper fly tying talks with swing flies, let me know. But just remember that you got to ask those questions. So ask those questions in the comments below. I answer all of them, and I will make videos. If you're like, hey, do this and show this, I will do it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have an awesome Christmas and awesome New Year's. And don't worry, we got plenty more videos in the tank. Now that guiding slowed down, should be weekly uploads, maybe twice a week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Christian Gradowski. I'll see you in the next video.